Yo, 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 come on in, man. Come on in. Let's talk right quick, man. Come on in. As you come in, man, please go ahead. Hit that share button, man. Share it on Twitter, share it on Facebook. We about to have a conversation, man, because I put out a Michael Penix video, man. I was getting ridiculed about it, and y'all know me, man. If you gonna come for me, you better come correct, man, because a lot of y'all, man, I can tell who watching my videos and who not, because a lot of the things that y'all get mad about, I've already said before. So just come on in, man. Let's talk about it. Let's be real about it, man. Cause as I look at what's going on with the Atlanta Falcons, man, we can see as a simple fix, but and there's plenty of people to point the finger at, because when you point the finger, man, you better point at the right person, because there's enough blame to go around for everybody. And I named this stream Falcon fan concern because some of y'all are concerned about Michael Penix. Let's be honest about it, because he did not put together a good showing yesterday, and it's enough blame to go around. 30-0 loss, one of the worst losses I've seen, probably since my childhood, when the 49ers used to whoop up on the Falcons. And even though the Panthers beat us about 10 years ago, to be exact, I think they won 38-0, and I think my boy A1 told me about that game because I actually forgot about it. But I saw the 49ers whipping up on the Falcons coming up as a kid, as a youngin' teenager, before teens. So I've seen the worst of the worst. So this, to me, is just a walk in the park, and you can come back from it, honestly. Um, but yeah, man, come on in, man. While y'all coming in, please press that like button, man, to get this video through the algorithm, man. I appreciate y'all on last night's stream. I'm over 3,000 views right now on last night's show, so I appreciate y'all for that. Put me through the algorithm, and the more y'all press that like button and comment, the more it pushes the video. But Oscar comes in right off the bat. He said, I don't think we should be worried. Did we forget this is his sixth start as an OC trying to find his comfort game? Absolutely, man. Absolutely. But the thing about it, man, and a lot of people, they don't even realize it, man. Zach Robinson is young in this too, man, because he comes from being a passing game coordinator over to an offensive coordinator, and that's a hard transition. But at the same time, um, as I look back at Kyle Shanahan with the Falcons back in 2015 when he came over as the Falcons offensive coordinator, he had struggles too. Him and Matt Ryan weren't on the same page, and it took them a while to grow together. But in this case, he had Kirk Cousins last year, did Zach Robinson, and that worked out very fine for the first 9 games. And when Kirk Cousins got that shoulder injury and he played through it, it started to become a cause of concern, man, and rightfully so. Because when you have a shoulder injury, it's hard to be accurate, hard to lift your arm up, and it's hard to put the right leverage on the ball, put touch on the ball. And you saw that pick six he threw it against the Los Angeles Chargers. It was definitely something going on with his shoulder. So Zach Robinson started with Kirk Cousins, ended with Michael Penix, so he had to switch up the way he does things. And those 3 games, they were a little bit telling as to where Zach Robinson's experience was, because it took him a good game and a half to get it going. Mike Penix didn't get it going to the Giants game. But to get back to Kyle Shanahan, first season he struggled with Matt Ryan. They were fussing, they were doing what they was doing. But the second season, they got in the film room, they got things worked out, and let me tell y'all, Kyle Shanahan hit Matt Ryan's weaknesses so well. Why? He didn't force him to throw a deep ball. He forced him to throw a lot of slants, a lot of out routes, because he knew that was Matt Ryan was his strength, and he used it to his strength. And he rode that formula all the way to an MVP, and the Falcons all the way to a Super Bowl berth. So you say, what does Kyle Shanahan have to do? I'm sorry, what does Zach Robinson have to do? He has to figure out the strengths and the weaknesses of Michael Penix, and we saw him on display yesterday. For one, he hadn't put a lot of air up under the ball, so this is the cause for a lot of overthrows. This is a cause for a lot of underthrows, and you saw it yesterday as well. And this is a cause for, you know, just him being, off balance and not focused. And with Matt Ryan, like I said, he ran a lot of plays that Matt Ryan was strong with. So what they have to do, and we can't blame it on the pistol formation because they told y'all in the beginning that they were going to try to do everything to make Michael Penix comfortable. What offense did he run in Washington? The pistol formation. And look, Zach Robinson just got to get back to the drawing board. He's got to figure out what Michael Penix is good at. And once he does that, hey, you could see a turnaround. And I think that can happen sooner rather than later. And don't get me wrong, the Falcons have a tough next 3 games even, because you have Washington at home this week, go to a bye very next week, Buffalo Bills. That's two to me, 2 all-pro quarterbacks in a row. One is younger than the other, but at the same time, they pose the same threat because both can use their legs. We saw that with Washington last year at the end of the year. So ain't nothing changed. So you have to probably look back on that game and see what you did wrong. And you have to calculate on it and get it right. But I saw people saying the wide receivers weren't getting separation. That's absolutely true. But a lot of these plays, the offense as a whole was not on the same page. And we gave the offensive line hell because of you didn't think they were going to block and help Penix, but guess what? They did. The offensive line blocked very well the last 2 games, and they held up. And even Elijah Wilkes, a veteran in this league, he held up. So I just think it's just getting back to basics. And what I mean by that, getting back to your original plan and getting back to your bread and butter, and that's running the football. The Atlanta Falcons, between Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier, had 14 carries yesterday. It's not going to work. When the previous week, they ran for 200 yards against the Minnesota Vikings. That's your bread and butter. That's how you're going to win ball games. That's how you're going to help Mike Penix easily keep transitioning and developing as a quarterback in the NFL. The job is to make his job easier, and to do that, you got to run the football. I mean, find a way to run the football. Wear the defense down with Tyler, and I've said this 1,000 times. Wear the defense down with Tyler, then Bijan Robinson's agility and speed can take over, and it works like that. And to Anthony White's point, it's always going to be struggle. This is very true, because development comes with struggle. And when you learn how to go face those struggles and get through those struggles, that's when the rainbow comes out on the other side, man. Because when it's light at the end of the tunnel, 9 times out of 10, you got to be driving in the right direction to get to the end of the tunnel. So what the Falcons have to do is just, like I said, get back to the game plan on how they're going to utilize this offense. And I have no problem with the West Coast offense, but you got to know how to run it properly. And this is why I like Kyle Shanahan, Mike Shanahan, because it's a running back friendly system. And with a running back friendly system, with the quarterback, it makes their job a lot easier. So this is why I said you got to get back to the basics. Point blank, period. But let me go to the chat right quick, and I'm gonna keep going. Ski, I'm telling you, my boy Donnell Suggs said it last night. I don't think they're gonna fire Raheem Morris. Arthur Blank is known for this. Arthur Blank is known for putting his trust in these coaches. Even though I think Dan Quinn stayed too long because that Super Bowl was his silly, and very next season, 11-5, and then right after that he hit the flow at 7-10. So I don't think he's going to make a change. The only way that I think there's a change is the Falcons only win 3 games this year. That's the only way. If that's not the case, he's not going anywhere. Rich, what's up, my guy? Wait till we got a pistol shotgun and change it up. We're going to get washed. Good point. My girl Amber said, very concerned with our offense, special teams going forward. And rightfully so, man. Rightfully so, because the special teams is a phase of the game that you have to win as well. And to see Parker Romo miss both of those kicks That kind of dampen the spirits as well. But again, he's a young guy and he's taking over with pressure on his shoulders. You got to think he's taking over for a veteran that was a former Pro Bowler that had problems kicking, and then you come in with the um, same type thing, missing kicks. That builds the pressure. So hopefully he's going to snap out of it this week against Washington, get back to himself, because special teams is going to be key going forward. When you talk about clutch field goals to win the game or tie the game, you got to make those. So it can be a concern, but I also think it can be fixed with the right coaching and with the right practice. So, I mean, you have a right to feel that way. Um, Why would Raheem bench Penix? He nearly blew the confidence of his team. The players was blue after the benching of Penix. I mean, let me put it like this. It was just as say like if you going in the game, starting quarterback, you're getting blowed out. You know you're not gonna catch up. So they take out the starting quarterback because freak injuries can happen at any time. And this is the reason why they took him out, because what if he stayed in there and a freak injury happened? Then what? You go back to the backup quarterback. So what do? They put the backup in to preserve the starting quarterback and let him finish the game. This happened with every NFL team. So I don't think it had nothing to do with Penix. I just think it had to do with just basic football 1-on-1. You're not gonna win. Take the starter out, let the backup get some snaps, and move on to next week. Just that simple. But Michael Penix said he didn't like being benched, but it happens. But at the end of the game, at the end of the day, I'm sorry, you got to play better. If you play better and we're close to winning this game, you probably would still on the field. But you didn't make enough plays and you got shut out. So in comes the backup to finish off the game. It's just like in baseball. When the starting pitcher, if you've seen that he can't go no further, the bullpen comes in. Same situation with football. If you out the game and no way you can win it, just time to put in the reserves. It's just that simple. Because you see Nathan Carter came in as well. I think he had 7 carries for 46 yards or something like that. But it's football. His footwork is bad, and he's hesitant to throw downfield. And that's because he's had problems seeing the fields. He's having problems going through progressions, and that's part of a young quarterback. So again, get in the film room, figure out what you're doing wrong, learn to read the field and what's going on and how they're scheming. And I think that goes away because you saw it last year when he had a feel of how the scheme was going to go on offense. He shined. Look at the Giants game when he figured out what they were running on defense, and I think they played him a little loose last year because of his arm strength. But when teams get film on you, guess what? They're gonna hit you every which way but the right way. And what the Carolina Panthers did was exactly what the Buccaneers did week 1. They pressured us. And even though they didn't pressure us bad, I think they found a way to get to Penix. And they played a lot of zone. And one thing that they got away from, if you see them playing zone, use Kyle Pitts to break that zone, find holes in that zone, run after the catch because that's what he's good at. But Zach Roberts couldn't make that adjustment. And it's all about adjustments. And speaking of adjustments, somebody left a comment in my comment box. Let me see. Let me make sure that's the right one. Let's see. We'll go with William Paul. William Paul, shout out, man. I know you've been following me for a long time, man. Name is pretty familiar. And William said this, and I have no problem with it. He said, keep the excuses and apologies coming for Penix. Of course, it's not all on him, but to see how anyone watched the game can deny his mechanics were terrible, and a lot of his passes were straight ducks, and that's true. Whole team looked terrible. We'll legitimately have the worst coaches in the league. Wait until Mark and Mariota mops us up Sunday. I don't know about that part. But he's absolutely correct. Mechanicals were terrible. Play calling was suspect most of the game, and they were just off balance. And when you get off balance, guess what? It happens. You're not going to look right. Throws are going to be wide. And as I said, he got to learn to put touch on the ball. And when he learns how to do that, he becomes a very, very respectable quarterback, even though I think he will anyway. But that goes back to coaching. TJ Yates, a former quarterback. He's supposed to help him. Zach Robinson play calling. He's supposed to have been in the film room and on the practice field. So it's just coaching. And like he said, it's just coaching at the end of the day. And as I told y'all, when they get everything down pat as far as coaching, I think it's going to be fine because I think this Falcon team has an energy like no other. And even though we were getting beat to sleep, the defense kept playing hard, and that's what you like to see, because some things you had to phase out mentally. If you're getting beat, you have to phase out on coming back out the very next series and trying to get them off the field and dominate them again. And the defense kept playing well. The thing is, as a defense, when you're playing on the short field, it's very hard to keep stopping people because it's bend but don't break. But at some point, you're going to give up a touchdown. And that's just what's kept happening, because if not for that 30-yard play in the fourth quarter, and my boy A1 told me about this because I stopped watching his third, it would have been the second straight game that they held somebody up on 200 yards defensively. So that tells you that the offense is out of whack. That tells you that the system is out of whack. So if the offense does their job, control the clock, run the football, it makes the game easier for the defense because the defense is going to bring it. So, again, William Paul, man, thank you for that comment. But, yeah, I'm not making excuses because I told y'all yesterday on Twitter, Michael Penix is going to get this work too because he played very bad. And a lot of it was on him and Zach Robinson. And there's enough fault to go around. But, hey, what do I know? But let's stay in these comments, man. Let's see. That game is not on Raheem. Y'all just don't like that, man. Nah, it wasn't on him, but he's got to know when to fold him, man. When you see things going on with your young quarterback, man, you got to hold somebody accountable other than Mike Penix. Zach Robinson, like I've been saying, get your ass on that field. When Mike Penix needs to talk to you and see you face to face, so he'll let you know what's going on. That's something that you can't. Hold on one second. As I was saying, that's just something as a quarterback. It's just something about being face to face with your coach, being able to talk to them, being able to do what you need to do to fix the problem. I think if he talks to Michael Penix in person on the field, I think they have a better understanding on how to do things, and they can talk about things that they've talked about and discussed in the film room. You can't do that through a microphone. Why? Because you're going to get screwed. And then, like I said last night, y'all saw in the Minnesota game, Michael Penix was frustrated as hell because they couldn't get the play in on time. He couldn't understand what play call they were trying to call. Just simple things of that nature. So some simple things that I feel like they could fix to get back on the same page. And one of them is getting the coaches all on the field at the same time. And if Michael Penix doesn't shoot Zach Robinson out, Raheem Morris should. So Raheem has got to put his foot down. Zach, get on the field. I need you right down here right now to see what's going on. I know that probably gives you an easy view to see what's going on and what's being called. But if you know how to call plays as a coach and see what's going on in the field, you shouldn't be up in the box anyway. And I feel that's only for veteran coaches that's been around a while that know how to do that. And I don't think Zach Robinson, and he's not actually been in the league long enough to, have that type of pull to me. And that's just me. I ain't switching up. I'm just saying, I just keep it real, Jawan. I just keep it real, man. I'm gonna support the Falcons till I leave this earth, man. And I've been a Falcon fan since '89. I've been through the ups and the downs. This is just child's play. This is just child's play. Because if y'all grew up when I grew up in the '80s and '90s, and y'all saw 2-14, 3-12, 3-13, 5-11, oh, y'all will be really crying. But I've seen the worst, and this is nothing compared to what I've seen over my years. So I'm never gonna switch up. I'm going to just always keep it real. And Ski, yeah, he did stare down a couple of receivers. And that interception he threw, that was just ill-advised. I don't know what he was saying. And I knew soon, like A1 said, as soon as he threw that pass, he knew it was a mistake. But at the same time, you got to be able to read the field better than that. If he knew that cornerback was going to be sitting on that play, you got to recognize it. So get back in the film room. Don't make that mistake again, because one thing about it, it's easy to make, but at the same time, look, you're gonna get ridiculed and criticized for it, no matter if you like it or not. But Miss Carey, thank you for the donation. Truly appreciate it. She said, I'm so disappointed. One step forward with the Vikings win and 2 steps back with shutout by the Panthers. Whole team look unprepared, need a win Sunday. Absolutely, Miss Carey. And again, thank you for the donation. And they absolutely did look bad Sunday, and they did take 2 steps backwards. And it goes back to what I said at the beginning. They ran the ball for 200 yards between their 2-star running backs. Why not stick to that game plan and wait till somebody stop it? Because the Panthers are one of the worst defensive teams in the league. So, I mean, you mean to tell me you couldn't come up with a second game plan next week similar to the one you ran, and you know they're going to be waiting on it. But that's why you become creative. That's why you make adjustments, like somebody said in the chat. It's all about adjustments at the end of the day. And awesome. I said it last night. Some of our worst losses happened because coaching couldn't make adjustments. 2012 game. NFC Championship. We up 21-0. Coaches should have made adjustments to control the clock and keep San Francisco off the field. Guess what? They come back and win the game. 2016 Super Bowl. Devontae Freeman runs 50 yards. Doesn't get another carry during the game. Run the football, wear them down. We wouldn't be having this discussion. So it's all about adjustments. And when you can't make adjustments, guess what? This is what happens, losses. But let's go back to the comment that I was put out of my comment chat. And this is the reason for making this video, because I feel like the level of concern is warranted in some aspects, but it's only 3 games. And it's simple ways that the Falcons can fix this, only if they stop fucking overthinking. If they stop overthinking, things will change. But Hannibal Black says Michael Penix has 1 interception in 3 games. That was clearly his fault. You said he's got to get better than that. What do you consider an acceptable interception rate, especially for a quarterback in his 6th start? Pause. I'm gonna say it like this. I don't believe in just 1 interception. If he threw it, he threw it. In a discussion, he's threw, I think, 4 interceptions early on in 6 starts, which is not bad. But he's got to get better at reading coverage. He's got to get better at being accurate. He's got to get better at touch passes. It's just so much thing he's got to be better at if he wants to be a successful quarterback in this league. And if you don't get in the film room and get on the practice field and fix that, I mean, the same things are going to start happening. Then guess what? Teams are going to figure you out. They're going to approach you a certain way, and they're going to shut you down. It's just that simple. But he says, we expect the young quarterbacks to go a full season with 0 interception? Hell no. No, nobody does that. Rookie, veteran, super veteran, all-pro, Hall of Famer, nobody does that. So absolutely not. Or we're going to get back to expecting quality coaching. And that's the point. You answered your own question. You got to expect quality coaching on every team and every aspect of the game, offense, defense, and special teams. And it's most points, they've let us down. So they've got to fix things, not us. They do. And he said, actually, Michael Penix probably only has 1 interception in 6 starts that was clearly his fault. But at the end of the day, he still threw it. So you can't change that stat. And I'm not gonna warrant that. And if he knows he made a mistake and he owns up to it, that should make him better. That should make him want to go back in the film room. That should make him want to come back the following week and be better. I mean, if you make mistakes, that's the key to getting better. How you gonna get better if you don't make mistakes? Just that simple. But Hannibal Black, thank you for that comment, man. Truly appreciate it. Truly appreciate it. Let's go back to the chat. Keep it rolling. Jawan Johnson said, watch Penix have a good game next week. We'll see. We always unprepared. What's one win, one game that don't learn how to move and make improvement next week? Yeah, you got to make improvement. That goes without saying. And I'm gonna say it like I said last night. Raheem, I think he was 4-7 or 5-7 interim coach when Dan Quinn got fired. And I just think he he's got to do better. He said he learned things while he was away with the Rams, and to me, I see it sometime, but sometime it's the same thing. Just like I said with Arthur Smith, it's got to do with adjustments. If he learns to make adjustments, something that Arthur Smith couldn't do at times, Falcon would be a better team. Period. Period. But Miss Carey said, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. I appreciate that, Miss Carey. She said, what is our identity on offense? Feels like we've gotten worse every game this season. And I hope Zach gets out of the box and on the field with the young quarterback. And I stressed that earlier, man. Absolutely. But what is our identity? And I'm going to say this 1,000 times, 1,001 times. Our identity is running the football. This is the identity that they built with Arthur Smith. So if you still have that same personnel to run the football, keep doing it. Keep doing it until they can stop it. Keep doing it until you become a balanced offense. If you become a balanced offense, then yeah, you can switch your identity, but running the football is their identity. It's not going anywhere. And that's a good thing. Because as I said earlier, when you can run the football and control the clock, you can control the game. You saw it against Minnesota. They ran the ball, controlled the clock, and played good defense because their defensive players were fresh most of the game. So if that's the case, why go away from that? Why try to start being this run and shoot looking team? It's not the Falcons. It's not the Falcons. Drake London, to me, he is a number one receiver, but I feel like he's got to be better. And what I mean by that, you got to be a better leader on the field with these other receivers. If you see something going on out there, say something. Help your quarterback out. And that's with any of the receivers. Even Kyle Pitts, the tight end. If you see what's going on, help your quarterback along. Players coach each other too. It's just a given fact. Yeah, coaches, they see what's going on the field, but a veteran player also can see things that the coaches can't see, and believe it or not, because if they see something on the field, they're going to say, hey, man, go attack this, go attack that. That's why you see a lot of veteran players, backup quarterbacks, especially when a young quarterback is in, they're going to put them to the side. Hey, man, this is what I see. Try this next time when you see that. This person moving motion, that person, you got a deep safety back there. Look, it's coaching. No matter if it's players, no matter if it's head coaches, position coaches, it's coaching at the end of the day. But our identity on offense, run the football. Plain as day. Best, to me, the best running back duo in the league. Minnesota couldn't stop it. I don't think Carolina could have stopped it. If you prepared like you were supposed to, we probably would have been 2-1 right now instead of losing 30-0. That looked like an unprepared team yesterday. Point blank period. And that's on the coaches. My boy, let's get it. Lack of communication between MPJ and Zach Robinson. How the hell do you have a delay of game coming out of a timeout? And how many times did we say that with Arthur Smith? Arthur Smith didn't get to play in on time, calling timeouts unwarranted. It's the same thing. Adjustments. If they can't make adjustments, they're going to keep losing football games. Point blank period. Let's see. I appreciate it, grown man. Appreciate it, my guy. Tyler G having 1 carry and Bijan having 13 carries is criminal. Absolutely. I get we were playing from behind, so we needed to throw the football, but we didn't get the run game going from the jump. Absolutely. And you can't vacate the running game no matter what the score is. They were down 17-0, still running football, still wet on that defense. Because guess what? If you keep running football effectively, they're going to soften up and they're going to eventually wear down. And that's when you start making plays. But hey, what do I know? He threw 2 interceptions last game. Yeah, he threw 2 interceptions. And he's got to get better. Hannibal, appreciate you, my guy. Appreciate the question, man. Look, I don't have no offense to anybody's opinion. I just give my own, and I thank you for putting that comment in. Enjoyed it. Appreciate you. Let's see. Fontenot had a bad track record with drafting quarterbacks. We haven't forgot about Ritter and Penix was benched yesterday. I can't agree with that because, again, it's about coaching. Let me explain. What did Terry Fontenot do in New Orleans? A lot of people don't even think about this. Terry Fontenot was the one who went out and got Drew Brees. Drew Brees had a bad shoulder, and I mean bad, because he went and he was going to sign the contract with the Dolphins. The doctors checked out that shoulder. They were unsure about it. Terry Fontenot swooped right in. Bring Drew Brees on New Orleans. We'll work with him. We'll see what happens. What does Drew Brees do? Goes on to become one of the best quarterbacks in the league when it comes to stats. He's won a Super Bowl. He's had weapons that he knew how to distribute the ball. And Drew Brees did not have a rocket arm. Drew Brees had an arm like Chad Pennington. Dude had a chicken tender for an arm. And it was all about coaching. Sean Payton, I don't care if y'all don't like him. I don't care if he coached the Saints. He's one of the smartest coaches to ever coach the game. Look at what he's doing in Denver. He went out and got Bo Nix, some quarterback that nobody wanted, but guess what? He fits what he likes to do. So Terry Fontenot, since he's came to Atlanta, what did he do? Went out and got all the offensive pieces, and then he gets his quarterback down the road to try to build a lethal offense like he built in New Orleans. And nothing wrong with that. So after he done that, he goes in this year's draft, build up the defense, very solid picks. 4 out of the 5 were hits, especially those defensive players. They made an impact already. So I don't agree with that, KAB. I feel like Terry Fontenot has done what he needed to do, but unfortunately, if Raheem Morris fumbles this, he's going to fumble his job as well. And even I've said, I don't think he deserves to lose his job because he's gave Raheem Morris everything he's needed. This coaching staff, everything that they've needed to be successful. So now all the coaches got to do is execute. And yesterday, they did not execute. They looked like trash. And I'm going to keep it real with y'all. Justice, Eternal, thank you for the donation. He said justice for Young Wei Koo. And I was joking yesterday about it. And I said, it's a Young Wei Koo curse that he missed those 2 field goals. And I feel like that to a certain degree. But at the same time, I also felt it was time to move on. So this is another learning experience. And the experience that I think it taught the Atlanta Falcons, you got to score touchdowns. Don't rely on the kicker. Score touchdowns. Get the ball in the damn end zone. We wouldn't be having these conversations about a kicker. And Young Wei Koo, he was almost missing extra points too. So it was his time was just up. Parker Romo, young kicker, bring him on in. Let's see what he can do. He hit 5 out of 5, but yesterday he went 0 for 2, still 5 out of 7. And that's still over 50%. But he's got to get better also. And they've got to get the ball in the end zone and not depend on him. So, hey, we'll see. Mike Thomas, what's up, my guy? He said off topic. If JD is still not available and Mariota comes into the game next week with DQ and the Commanders beat us at home, I'm going to be pissed. And Michael Thomas, I'm going to just tell you, it ain't got nothing to do with the quarterback. It's all got to do with coaching. If Raheem Morris can't out-coach Dan Quinn, it's going to show. So if we lose, it's because of coaching. And I have absolutely every problem with that. Because like I said, you have just as much talent, if not more, than Washington. And you playing like the way you playing. We should have beat Tampa Bay. We beat Minnesota. And we should have beat Carolina. It is coaching at the end of the day. Let's keep going, man. Let's keep going. Cool Keys. All this talent, we on the game plan for Robinson to get the run and catch defense. Can't save Zach every game. That's true enough. But that's why it's about adjustments. If Zach Robinson can't adjust during the game, we're not gonna win another game. Just simple. No, I don't think Terry Fontenot gave Kirk Cousins $100 million. It was all Raheem Morris because that's who he wanted. Just as simple as that. I mean, hey, that's what he should have been doing from the jump. Should have been on the field. I guess he listened to somebody. I know it wasn't me because he listened to me and he would have did it week 1. Tell me what you can't agree with, Josh. My boy Tony Wright, what's good? Yeah, Drew Brees did not have a rocket arm, but Drew Brees second or third out time and quarterbacks. Yeah, that's what I said, Tony. That's exactly what I said. He was smart up here. He was smart up here. His rocket arm was his mind. He knew how to read coverages. He knew exactly where to place the football. And you ain't got to have no rocket arm to do that. Ask Jim Kelly. 4 straight Super Bowl with the Bills. And that was because of coaching. Right, it was good. People don't understand that we have a rookie quarterback and an offensive coordinator who's stunned our quarterback growth. And you got to think, too, Zach Robinson, that he's young, too. He's got growing pains as well, and we just going through them with both of them. And we going through with both of them, you're going to see this kind of stuff. But as an offensive coordinator, you got to be able to adjust. You got to be able to be creative, and that's something that he's not good at right now. He's just calling plays without being creative, and he has a damn tight end that's a monster that could have destroyed that game yesterday, but he didn't know how to adjust and make those adjustments and dial up plays for Kyle Pitts. If he dials up 5 to 6 more plays for Kyle Pitts in that first half, I guarantee you we are not down 17-0. And let's get it. He said, what did it for me was how big of a smile Raheem had after ass whooping like that. He was hugging Carolina players like it was a reunion. That didn't sit right with me. He's the wrong coach. Man, he got a firestorm for that, man. Look, the way he was smiling yesterday after the game, I was pissed as well. Because as I said, when you lose like that, I ain't got nothing to smile about. It's boots the ass all the way from the field to the locker room, all the way back to Flowery Branch. And when you don't show that type of intimidation as a coach, players gonna run you over and say, oh, well, we fuck up. He's not gonna hold us accountable. And accountability is everything as a coach. If you don't hold these players accountable, who is? They damn sure ain't gonna hold themselves accountable. Just like when Michael Penix said what he said yesterday about he didn't agree with being pulled, you should have pulled him to the side and say, hey, that ain't my problem. You got to pay better. You got to study better. You got to get in there with Zach Robinson and make adjustments like y'all got to get this shit together. Oh, I agree with that. Let's get it. I mean, as a coach, accountability is everything. And that's what comes with respect. A player's coach is not as respected as a Bill Cowher, as a Mike Tomlin, just as Steelers coach, period. They have an area of toughness and that they expect from their coaches. And I feel like a lot of teams could take examples from that and find a coach with that same type mindset. And a lot of these organizations will be turned around instantly. But when you're comfortable in the front office hiring the same people, guess what? It's not going to change. It's going to be the same thing over and over. Over and over and over. Players coach. Blue collar. No. Get a coach with a couple of screws loose. Get players with a couple of screws loose. This is what drives teams. This is what makes them mentally tough. And Raheem smiling and giggling, that's not toughness. It's not. That's, hey, we just going to come and have fun, win or lose, go on to the next week. That's not an attitude to have. Hey, I might be wrong, and I don't know what he's telling them in the locker room, but right now it's not right because our record reflected, and I was showing yesterday reflected. You got to be tough, boots to ass every week. That's the mentality you're supposed to have. I'm just saying. Yeah, I know Koo ain't coming back. He gone, long gone. You'll never see Atlanta yesterday. Again, period. Ski, what's up, guy? My guy. Very bad yesterday, but nothing to panic over. Penix struggled along with everything else. It's the coaches and players going to adapt and adjust. That's the question. Absolutely, 200% correct. Absolutely. M Dub, what's up, my guy? Hope you're good over there in Germany, man. Stay safe. Stay safe, my brother. Willie Doc, what's good, my guy? What's good? But it's one more thing I want to put up and answer. Let me make sure I got it right. Here it is. Mr. Derek Carter, thank you for leaving this comment, man. I might need to do this more because y'all leave great comments, man, and it keeps me thinking, and it makes for great videos. Um, Derek Carter said after the Bucks game, Bijan said the defense had looks they hadn't seen on tape, and the crazy thing about it, he said the same damn thing about yesterday about the Carolina Panthers. Bijan said defense had look they hadn't seen on tape. After this game, the OC said the Panthers D had looks that they had seen. Sounds like bad preparation, lack of time, in-game adjustments. Derek Carter, point blank period. That's the problem. Point blank period. That's the problem. In-game adjustments. Every quarterback, every coach has to be able to make adjustments. If you don't teach Michael Penix the ropes like he needs to be taught, he's never going to be able to make in-game adjustments. That's part of the learning curve. Get in the film room, show him things so when he see it on the field, he's able to make the proper adjustment, because a lot of the calls he's had the last 2 weeks, he didn't agree with them. But guess what? He can't see the field good enough yet to know how to make the right adjustments. So you got to call the right plays as a coach and adjust as the coach in order for him to keep developing for this to happen. Point blank period. But Derek Carter, man, thank you for that. Thank you for that, man. I appreciate that, because I'm glad somebody finally, see the way I see things. So thank you for that, man. Appreciate it. But I seen a comment. Mike, let me tell you, the reason why we so bad in the red zone is because I said it already. Run the damn football. Or if you're not going to run the football, use them damn two twin towers. Drake London, Kyle Penix, back shoulder fade. Or 50-50 ball and let them go up and get it. The average size of a corner, and I've said this 1,000 times, average size of a corner is 5'10", 5'11", or 6 feet. One is 6'4", the other one's 6'6". You do the math. There's no reason we should not be getting the ball in the end zone. Tyler Algier, you see him short yardage. Bijan Robinson, swing pass. Make it make sense. It's just senseless. Point blank period. It's just senseless. Hey man, I don't know. Sorry. My boy Bert over there doing his thing though. I got to give him a shout out, man. Them numbers picking up. So I got to give him a shout out because I know he the one doing it. So shout out to Berto, man. Richie said Tom Brady had 3 interceptions in the Super Bowl and we still lost. See what I mean? Adjustments. In-game adjustments. Because I'm sure Belichick went in there and he's a defensive guy. And he knew how to shut down Matt Ryan. He knew how to shut down his pass game. But Kyle Shanahan wasn't wise enough to make adjustments to what they were doing. And that made for easy comeback. Super Fifth said Mike got to play better. I got faith, but bro not reading the middle of the field at all. Absolutely. And that's, again, film room. If he's not noticing on the field and you're not teaching him in the film room what to look for, hey, he's going to have these same problems. Slim, what's up, my guy? He said Penny needs to start using his whole field and not outside numbers. And Zach needs to call better players, keep in mind that Penix and a lot of these players are still new to the NFL. Transitioning, absolutely. And the reason why he throws outside, because that's his strength. But at the same time, with a guy like Kyle Pitts in the middle of the field, nobody can stop that. We seen it last year. You catch Kyle Pitts in stride in the middle of his own defense, it's going to be hell to pay. Just that simple. Dan, what's up, my guy? Just heard Matt Shaw's breakdown on radio. He calls it coaching needs to implement a quick set of plays for Penn to give quickly. He said other gyms, but yeah. And I said that. When you see a team blitzing just like Carolina was doing on Bryce Young, they knew Atlanta was going to be blitzing like they did with J.J. McCarthy last week. What did they do? 3-step drop out. 3-step drop out. And they knew it, and it worked to a T. And as I said, going to that game, you're going to have to contain Bryce Young, and they did for the most part. But when you're giving them a short field just like you did with Tampa Bay, you're going to pay for it. So, yeah, quick throws out. But Kyle Pitts has got to be a part of that as well. Not just Drake London, not just Bijan Robinson. Kyle Pitts, Reverend McLeod, David Seals that you seen yesterday, any other wide receiver, when they're open, find them, throw them the football. And Dan, that's a great point. Quick plays. It works. Yo, yo, yo. A1, what's good, man? I had to come in right quick, man. I told you. I mean, when people put comments in there and they tell me about myself, I gotta respond, man. But I thank them for putting the comments because hey, that makes me better. I ain't got no opposition for it, man. I welcome the battle. I hate to say it, Arthur Smith had Penix would thrive. Yeah, with a run game. With a run game, but the only thing about it, it's the same thing. Situational play calling. If your situational play calling suck, your team gonna suck. Just that simple. If they get situational play calling down to a science, Falcons are unbeatable, man. The Falcons have just as much talent as the Philadelphia Eagles, believe it or not. You see what Philadelphia did yesterday. Philadelphia was down 26-7 against the Rams and found a way to come back and win. Why? Because they made in-game adjustments as the game kept going on, and that has to do with the coaching. Terrence, what's up, my guy? He said, "Was that running the pistol all game? It makes the offense predictable. Absolutely. But the thing is, Terrence, even though you run the pistol, you can find different ways to use the pistol as far as throwing, as far as running the football. You just got to give them different looks. If you give them different looks and make adjustments, we wouldn't be having this discussion. But since they didn't do that, who knows? But let me ask you this, fans. With a first-time offensive coordinator, and I'm glad Terrence brought this up. How do you expect him to develop a quarterback when he's not developed himself? See, it's a thing when you bring in veteran coaches that you know can develop quarterbacks. But do you really expect a first-time guy, offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator, to develop anybody when it's their first time at the helm of anything? I don't think so. Now, if you have this conversation about Jerry Gray, I would say absolutely he's going to develop anybody and everything up under him because he's been around a while and he knows how to do that. But when it's a first-time guy, no matter if it's Jimmy Lake or Zach Robinson or whoever, if you expect them to develop a young quarterback, you set yourself up for failure. Just keep it real because development comes with time, comes with experience. So that's something the coach have to have when it comes to development. They have to have time and experience. And that's something that Zach Robinson really doesn't have. Yes, he was a quarterback coach. Yes, he was a passing game coordinator. But at the same time, that's not an offensive coordinator. That's not the head guy. So when you talk about experience and being through things and seeing things, Zach Robinson is not there yet. So when you talk about development, this is not development. This is both of them learning on the fly, developing together, but the blind can't lead the blind, and one got to be better than the other. It's just as simple as that. But Terrence, thank you for that comment, my brother. Yeah, he better be out of the booth. And I wish I had that kicking meme emoji. I would use it right now to kick his ass right down that field. And I told y'all, we'll see how it works out. But if he can make adjustments by being down in the field, being able to talk to Michael Penix, y'all will see that was part of the problem, like I've been saying the last 2 weeks. But like I said, we will see. Slim, thank you for the donation, my guy. I forgot to say what's up and keep up the good work. Much respect. Slim, I appreciate it, my guy. You've been rocking with me for a very long time, and I truly appreciate it. Thank you for the donation. But Ken Richard said he tired of hearing the defense give up 30 points, no defense. Got you the ball back 3 times. Absolutely did. They got a fumble from a punt return from NTN and did not capitalize. Why? Because they were trying to be cute in certain ways. Run the damn football. Run what you're strong at. And then you pick up the play action or whatever you're going to do later. Stick to your bread and butter. That's the theme of the whole thing. If they don't stick to the bread and butter, it's going to keep being problems. It's just that simple. Let's see. Richie said you cannot run pistol shotgun 90% of the time. You're gonna be predictable. Absolutely, absolutely. And I don't understand. Every productive running back at some point needs a fullback. Think about the I formation sometime. Do what you can to make plays on offense. And that means change up formations. So I agree to a certain extent. Pistol should not be ran 70 to 80% of the time. Switch it up to shotgun could work, but instead of lining up in the pistol formation, line the running back on the other side of the quarterback. And for that matter, put Bijan and Tyler in at the same time. They ain't gonna know what hit them because they're not gonna know who to attack. See, think about it. When you switch things up and switch up looks, they're not gonna know how to attack you. But when they go to the film room and see something you did the previous week and the previous week before that, oh, they're gonna know how to attack it. So you got to make them adjustments on the fly. But that's about adjustments. That was why I made this video. But thank y'all for tuning in, man. And I truly appreciate it. And look, I might just start doing random pop-ups because I love doing this, man. And it's a joy, man, because I love to talk football. Mike, before I go, he said, what the hell up with Mooney in London, not creating any separation to make a play. The thing about that, Mike, when it comes to play calling and they are not getting separation, that means the defensive backs are basically focusing on the quarterback, and they don't have any reason to get a wide receiver cushion. When they know what's coming on defense and they feel like they can stop it, why get a wide receiver in the room to make a separation, to make a break? And when the Falcons push the defense off the line of scrimmage, run the football, that's when the cornerbacks and the defensive backs, they're going to take a step back. And then you can start making those throws. And it just all goes back to running the football. And again, sticking to your bread and butter. And I know I say repetitive things, but at the end of the day, if you're still making the same mistakes, guess what? You're just going to have the same thing to say. Just that simple. But again, man, thank y'all for dropping those comments, man. I truly appreciate it. I always enjoy talking to y'all. And again, man, thank y'all for the donation. Truly appreciate it. And tomorrow, Washington Commanders preview show. Me and A1, we're going to welcome Fred Smoot, former Washington Redskins defensive back, and journalist, professor, and freelance reporter, Miss Kelsey Nicole Nelson. Both of those guys are good friends of mine, and they always support the sports machine. And I definitely appreciate them for doing that. But tomorrow, 8 o'clock, y'all be there because we're going to have some fun and we're going to rock out. And if y'all know Fred going to bring the loud noise, talk football, and he going to keep it real. Same with Kelsey Nicole Nelson. So shout out to them. They will be here tomorrow. Y'all make sure y'all check that out. I already got the show set up. So if y'all see it right now and go to my page, hit that like button before we even get there. And that will help me push through the algorithm so more people can see it. And they're going to see it on Twitter as well. But for your boy, Antoine Smith, I'm going to holler at y'all soon, man, because I know some news coming. And I know I'm going to have something to say about something other than that. But, and we going to holler. Peace.